So you are the one who's talking. So you? Oh, pick yourself.
Okay. Nine.
Oops. Oh, you can't hear.
Sharing, tunaona. Ni volume yako. Reduce the volume. Nasikika. Inashare screen yangu hapo.
Sasa
Reduce to volume. Oh. So nezaanza. Na mbona sauti isikiki?
sauti gani?
As in, ulikuwa unaongeaje? Uko na sauti kubwa. Okay. Mnanisikia? Yeah, so mnaona screen yangu hapo, si ndio? So I'll be using this example app yenye okay. Clear. Yeah, so this is the app that I'll be using, and so these are the models. So this is what creates the database. When I run the app, it automatically runs through this code and creates table. And there is a condition in each and every execution in that. At what? My voice. Nasai? Bado. Hiyo inafanya. Jaribu kuwasha. Basi ilikuwa inafanya. Sasa imesari. Nasai. Bado.
Ingine iko wapi? Unasema ila pili Some dishes like
wanasema wasikii, ndio nilikuwa na setup. Nimetoka kuconnect saizi lakini bado ishiki. Hii hapa na hii. Sasa unasikia? Ish, hebu control na hapo hivyo. Check. Check. That's okay. Yeah, so it's too loud size sasa. Tulikuwa hapa, so I was showing you the code. And, yeah, so this is the code. So our main focus is the model size. Yeah, unaongea. Asante. So, on the models, we're importing OS and PsychoPG2. So PsychoPG2 is what we'll use for our database in production. It will reach a point tutaambiwa nweke API Heroku so that you can fetch the API easily. So with this, OS will be used to get environment variables to the last time. I hope it will work. So watching kenye nafanya. Zinakuwa stored kwa batch C. Sawa.
you would have notifications when those guys know that as a Basha implementation. So better just go straight to the point. When you choose to do things complex, you get up with that.
So we want to connect to Postgres. Yeah, so if you want to connect, I sent the link yesterday on the NB33. Those who wanted to install Postgres yesterday. Yeah, so I sent the link, and if you follow that link, you will find the step-by-step instructions. So it won't be as hard. So to open Postgres, you just type sudo. So after typing sudo, it will prompt you for the password. You enter your password, and you're connected to Postgres. Yeah, so to open the Postgres CLI, you type PSQL. Yeah. And then to connect with the database of your choice, you use slabs. So you are now connected to the Andela as user Postgres. You can set the user as you want and the database name as you want. Yeah. So when I go to the app, yeah, this one now. When I run my app, it will come to this file. So the file will execute commands this card.execute. So we have create table if not exist questions. So if table questions does not exist, we will therefore create it. But if it does, this command will be assumed. So yeah, so we have the same for users and the same for answers. Yeah, and then committing is what we do to save things to the database. So connection.commit will actually add, will execute, will put your queries and initialize them in the database. Yeah. So when I run my app, host name. I just setting the database host. Okay, let me set all the variables first. By setting them this way, they will be removed from the memory after you exit your terminal. So you have to save them in your bash file. what we are doing, we are actually setting these variables, giving them the correct value so that it can actually execute when we run it. So because as you can see, we are interpolating, using string interpolation to insert them into this connect method, this one here. The connect method, and then we pass it the database name, user, password, host, and the port. Yeah. So it's saying that answers already exists because it's already in the database, and our command says create table answers, but you've not given it a condition if not exists. Yeah, so if you don't put that one, it will always bring I think it's a 500 error, a server error. Yeah, because you have not included the command. So we'll put if not. It's not.
Yes, actually. No, like project. It's
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
projecting, not for the this project.
Okay.
Display.
Is it showing?
Not yet. It's just showing this on the screen here. It's showing.
Putting mirror display.
No, so mirror display should be. The display should be on. Yes, it should be there.
Reply.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our app is running, and when the app is running, the queries on the model file will be executed. So we want to check the database for that. So, and do B, which was the table. So we check. So it's getting users, answers, and question. So we have users with ID, which is a primary key, username, email, password. And yeah, so we check. Yeah, we have
applications, but without the other queries, you just do /et. It will give you the tables themselves alone. So answer table, the question table, and the users table. So this was just a rough app to show you how things are done. And inserting things into the database, we use SQL queries. Yeah, they're just normal SQL queries, but when you do it in Python, you have to interpolate, yeah, like this. Sentence, sentence. You can use it like that, but it's wrong. So you can insert something into the database, insert into users, and then we pass in name, email, username, and password. So it's saying there is no column name in users, so you can check. We have only username, email, password, and password confirmation. errors. If you have any question, you can ask. So insert 01. So show don't actually show we select. Yeah, so we can see that we register the user by adding to the database. So we have the username column, email, password, and password confirmation. So it takes in all those values, and the ID is self-incremental. You can see the ID is one, but you never put it. So when you add another one, it will be two. When we delete ID one, when we create another user, it will not be ID one. The other user will own ID three. So ID one will be discarded like that completely. Yeah. Unless you actually roll back the database, that's when you can start from the initial ID. So that's how we add into a database, into a table, and that's how we show from the table. So when we want to put this in your code, you actually put these queries. You put these queries in your code, and that's how you add things to the database. So let me show you how. Is it still clear? So I was to show you how you can put this in your code. So when registering, we have already done register, so let us do another one. Yeah, like when we want to log in a user. So we will request a username from them and the password candidate. This is just the password. Assume the word candidate if you don't know what it means. So we request the value, which is in JSON format. So when you build an API, you have to have your values in JSON format. So when you get the JSON and the key in our JSON data will be username. So we are getting the username and the password. So this can be whatever the name you give it in your JSON key value pair. So you can have user, you can have username, so it's your choice. And the password. So we execute, we select all from users, where username is the username given here. So this is how we select only a particular entry in the database. Yeah, so if it were ID, we would have used select all from users where ID is this. Yeah, but the username is the unique one. So that means we can't register someone with the same username twice. Because when trying to log in a user, we will get conflicts. Yeah. So select all from user, and then if result is greater than 0, that is we're checking whether our our execution actually got a value from the user's table. So if we had a value, it means it's greater than 0. That means it's 1. Yeah, so we fetch 1. This one is actually, you will learn this ahead. And then password. This is actually complex. So this is just encryption of your password so that it cannot be easily hacked or something of the sort. So we were using SHA-56, SHA-256 encryption. And the password candidate, what the user gave, and what we got from the database. So from what the user gave and what we got from the database, if they're the same, then you are logged in. So this is a session to say you are truly logged in, and username is username, so successfully logged in. But if it's false, it will return an error, password, or username incorrect, invalid login. Yeah. So another example is for getting all the questions. So result is to car.execute, select all from questions, and then we fetch all from the cursor, and then if question, that means if it's true. When we say if something, we're actually checking if it's true, if the value is greater than 0. So if questions is not there, that means it's 0, so it will be false, and it will go to the else statement. But if questions, that is, we have questions in the database, we will return question in JSONified form. Yeah, maybe that's the example I can give you, because this is just the same one. This is just the same one for. And posts, when you delete, you have to commit. So committing is actually making the entries into the database. Yeah. So if you don't commit, you might be given a status called success, but nothing is actually added to the database. Yeah, so on your posts, requests, and your on your posts, on your put, and on your delete, you have to commit after each and every execution into the database. Yeah. So this is just a message. Yeah. So same drill. It's not hard. You just do the command. You check if it's there, and then you return the value. If it's not, you give the user a message. Show them that nothing is actually there. Yeah. So this a put request is actually one for editing. So when we execute, we update the values. So we update questions where the title is this, the description is this, and the ID is this. And then we give the new values, of which we will get from JSON. From the user input. From the user input, we'll get the title and the description. And then we feed them here. So the ID will be given and passed in as an argument. And then you commit. So never forget to commit again. And then when it's successful, question updated successfully, and then give the message. Deleting is also another one that you have to commit. So you execute where ID is this, and then you commit, and then you give a success message or an error message. So get requests, you are actually fetching data from the database. You don't have to commit. it because you are making no change on the database. Yeah, so when you make a get request, you select all from answers where ID is the one given, which will be passed as a parameter on the URL. So you see when you go to answer stroke one, something like that. Yeah. So if you have any questions, you can ask them or meet me later. But that's all if you have any questions.
The virtual method is only used when you are selecting one item from the database.
Yeah, so fetch one is used for querying only one item, a single item from the database, and fetch all is used for getting multiple items from the database. Yeah, that's basically it. Anyone else? If there is nothing else, maybe.
I think that's just it. Anyone with a question? Yes. What? Yeah. So, are you gonna take that?
You can just take it.
So I think ideally, part of the things that you should always do when you're designing your database, one is to have unique database connections. So what do I mean? So you need to have a database for business. You need to have a database for your own, like your entire application. In that case, it will mean that you're protecting your database. Secondly, so how do you deal with duplicacy in your database? Something like that. So we usually recommend, like when you do I don't know, you can probably stop sharing your screen. So let me just share my screen at least you guys can see it. Oh no. Okay, just stop sharing that. Just plug it up. Stop sharing this. Like, just go back to the browser. Go back to the browser. Don't you? Inafanya kazi vizuri. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Something like that. So, let's say you have. I was actually working on this just some time back. Like more or less the same thing I was telling you guys previously. So let me just zoom it out. So this was like something that I had with my tables. Like probably we did do it very differently. So I had just specific queries, and I was calling those queries. I was just putting those queries in a list, then returning this list. Then I call back that tables function here, and I get those queries, and I look in through that queries list that I have. I commit, but I execute each and every query. So using this function that I made here, that should actually go ahead and destroy the database. So in this case, you probably have query one or maybe one to be is equals to drop table. What is the name? So I created a program, so I'll just have for that. drop table product. Let me add S. Is drop just is drop table if exists? Yeah, so I should have drop table if exists, then cascade at the end. So drop table if exists, product, then cascade at the end. Then let's just have for DB2 and DB3, so you guys will see how it should work. Then we have DB2, DB3, then the next one was sales, and the next one was users. Then I definitely come and more or less do the same thing that I did for this other. So I just put everything here in a query. So what actually happens is you have to organize your work in much more formal way. So for example, the first one should be insert, right? The second one equal, right? The third one equal update, right? The fourth one equal delete. Then the last one, as you want in that, you need to go ahead and delete the entire table. That's how. So this destroy tables function is what you need to call at the end of each and every test that was doing another separation. And in that case, you just create something called tear down. So a function, a method we call tear down, and that tear down, you know how we do a setup. So at the end, you should actually finish up with tear down. The tear down just goes ahead and deletes for you the entire table that you have. Yes, that's it. Any question? I think that's it. Anyone with another question? Okay, fine. Thank you.